Wallace fountains are synonymous with Paris, but a handful can also be spotted in Bordeaux. These cast-iron public drinking fountains, designed in 1872 by sculptor Charles-Auguste were originally commissioned by an Englishman in Paris, the wealthy art collector and philanthropist Richard Wallace, to provide free drinking water to the homeless and needy in France's capital city. Various models were conceived, but the most iconic design was to be this, the larger model, which is 2.71 meters tall and incorporates an octagonal pedestal on which 4 caryatids, representing kindness, simplicity, charity, and sobriety, are affixed with their backs turned and their arms supporting a pointed dome decorated by dolphins. The water, now activated by a foot pedal, is distributed in a trickle that falls from the center of the dome down into a basin. Originally produced by the Val d'Orne foundry in northeastern France, Wallace fountains continue to be manufactured in the same region by GHM in Sommervoire. In 1873, soon after the first fountains were installed in Paris, the wealthy banker Daniel Ifla, better known as Daniel Osiris, decided to follow Wallace's lead in Bordeaux. He funded the purchase of 6 Wallace fountains. One was positioned on Place des Augustins, now Place du Général Sarrail, symbolically near to Osiris's birthplace. It remained there until 2003, by which time it didn't fit in with the plans of the urban architect who had been commissioned to modernise the neighbouring Rue Sainte-Catherine. The fountain was relocated to Place Stalingrad on the right bank of the Garonne. But a campaign ran to bring the fountain back, and the mairie eventually did just that. 2 other 1873 vintage fountains can also still be seen in the Jardin Public and in the gardens of Palais Rohan, the city hall. Mystery surrounds the other 3 original fountains, reportedly positioned on what is now Place des Martyrs de la Résistance, Place Gambetta, and near Saint-Michel Church. It is thought they disappeared during the Second World War, before later re-emerging. One can now be seen at the cultural centre in nearby Créon. The second ended up on the island of Grenada in the West Indies, where it was destroyed by a hurricane. The third recently turned up for sale at an auction. More recent fountains produced around the turn of the millennium have been installed throughout the city. This includes Place Stalingrad, where the Général Sarrail fountain had been a temporary resident. The next fountain is the focal point of Place Georges de Portoriche, in the side streets between Rue Sainte-Catherine and Place de la Bourse. A little further north, this fountain, painted a paler shade of green, can be seen on the scenic Place Michel near the Jardin Public. Finally, heading back towards the riverside, this fountain is to be spotted on Cours Xavier Aldozan. And that is the end of the Wallace Fountain Tour of Bordeaux. Or perhaps not, because there is evidence of an 8th fountain on Place Jacques Lemoine, in a part of the city that is currently a gigantic building site, ahead of it being turned into a shopping mall. Whatever has happened to the Wallace fountain that was there? If you know, get in touch.